Well, we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time for you to talk.
Are you on the air right now?
Yeah, we're on
live,
the air,
Coach.
Coach Dye.
Hey, look, I am mad.
Okay.
I am. You know, I am PO'd.
Uh-oh.
You know what that means?
I think I do.
And nobody giving us any respect. I don't know what y'all getting on here, but nobody's giving us. We're ranked 33rd in the nation in AP poll.
Yeah, I saw 30 and 39 on the coaches, I think.
I don't know, but ain't nobody thinks we're gonna be any good.
That's usually not bad.
Well, yeah, but it makes me mad. I'd rather be good and people know you're gonna be good and be scared when you get there. You know what I'm saying? That's ideal. But to not have any respect is bad, and we lost our respect last year. Now I think we got a little bit of it back in the bowl game, but and I think this football team we got coming up, I really think that they got a chance to be special. I really do. I think Coach Malzahn has done a great job of every change he made on the staff has been a positive. Every change, without exception, I don't care whether it's what it is, it's been a positive. The coaches like each other.
Uh-huh.
And that wasn't the case last year.
Yeah.
And when the coaches don't like each other, the players are confused, and who are you going to listen to? And I mean, who's got the influence? And Coach Malzahn is a lot more involved. And he said he was going to be more involved. Everything he said has been just right down the line with what he is planned to. And he says we got to win close games, and that's totally true. But if we'd have had good production and efficiency last year on offense, we'd have won 5 more ball games.
Coach, I remember when you came and you talked about changing. I don't know that you said it exactly this way, but you're talking about changing the culture from losing to winning, going from losing close to winning big.
Yeah.
And that's what the Auburn had. Auburn had that reputation of winning close until last year.
Well, we just had a disastrous.
Yeah.
And nobody saw it coming.
No.
And if we didn't have problems in other places, then might not have been so bad. But I like all 3 of the quarterbacks are better, and whoever he chooses is going to be the right one because he knows more about them than anybody. Just my personal opinion, and he ain't said anything to me. I think he'll choose the safest one.
And you mentioned the coaches, and when people think about chemistry, they think about the players getting along, but I know how important it is for the coaches to be on the same page and not have any jealousy and envy, because the players pick up on the way the coaches interact with one another.
Well, I think they got a great coaching staff. I do. I really think they got a great coaching staff. And I think that the 2 young ones have had a big impact.
Oh, yeah.
Travis Williams and Cody Burns. Ain't nothing like that youth and enthusiasm and being hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they've had a big influence. I think we got more defensive players than I've ever seen on any one team since I've been at Auburn.
That's a pretty strong statement. I wanted to ask you, Coach, about the defense, because that's the one thing we hear over and over and over from listeners is what's happened to that Auburn defense that they've always wanted to see.
We had players, great players, and we had a team full of great players. But we didn't have a team full of great players with a good team full of great players behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I see this team having. I mean, I think we got 10, 11 guys that can play up front. Now, obviously, there's some of them a little better than others, but some of them bring a little different package to the game, and they'll have places for them to play, and we're a little thin at cornerback, but we got 6 or 7 safeties that can play, and so your nickel and dime stuff is gonna be good. Uh, and you can have different. We'll have different packages on defense, just like our offense has different packages to run different stuff on offense. And I just, but I like the, what I feel and what I see, and I just think the Auburn people are gonna love this football team when the season's over. I
Boy,
mean,
it's quite a challenge right out of the gate playing
well,
Clemson.
I had them people. When they talk about the West, they don't even bring Auburn's name up.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, and it makes me so damn mad. Uh, and I think we got some guys that it probably hurts. I, you know, we'll be a little different probably,
Mm-hmm.
and all good teams are different, but and we'll see. Should have a great kicking game,
Mhm.
and I think we got a chance to be a great defensive football team.
Crazy to think that the concern right now for most people is Gus's offense. When
Well,
that's what.
let me tell you something. Have you now you may know or you may not know. I don't ever recall us having two more physical running backs in the same backfield than Cox and Petway. Now, both of them are 230 pounders.
Mhm.
Now, that's a load.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any difference which one's running, which one's blocking. That's still a load. And then you got on Johnson, and hopefully he can stay healthy. And he's a do it all. He can do it all. Hadn't had the opportunity, but that's all these kids got to have an opportunity. And so, and I like Miller, the kid from up in
Yeah.
Huntsville, is another strong. Listen, you got to be a full grown man to play running back in the Southeastern Conference, and that's what I see in Petway and Cox. Not that either one of them's going to start. I think Kerryon Johnson, and he's a man too. He don't weigh 235 pounds.
Yeah, he's 210, which is, I
Yeah,
mean, still, that's big
but
enough to get you by, but
yeah,
he doesn't have to carry it 30 times.
no,
We're talking about opening with Clemson, and I had mentioned this earlier on this program. I remember back, I think it was like in the spring coaches clinic after we played Michigan in the Sugar Bowl, and I think Bo Schembechler
came to say
came
yeah,
to speak.
yeah.
And I remember one thing him saying was he liked to schedule he liked to schedule somebody first game that was good because he knew he was assured of focused practice getting ready
I
because
don't
that's
think
the next
I
opponent.
don't think there's any question that us opening with Clemson has had an impact on that football
Sure.
team from the first day of spring practice and probably in the winter workouts it
Hmm.
started because we knew that we were playing Clemson
Hmm.
and so
I mean, it's natural if you're preparing for Louisiana Monroe as opposed to Clemson, it's just going to be a different mindset.
You start looking ahead and you
Yeah.
start taking maybe things a little bit
I tell
lightly.
you, sometimes kids leaving the program ain't a bad thing.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
We've got a little transition, and I think it's been a good thing, not a
Hmm.
bad thing. And so it's of course, sometimes when you love Auburn as much as I do, and much as other people do, we get born blindness. You know, you know what that is when you see something and you can't see
Can't
it.
see outside it. Yeah.
That's right. And but what I see is around the country. I see Arkansas, Mississippi State, Mississippi, Georgia, even Alabama. And who else did we almost that we lost to that we almost Ole Miss? What all those games? You know, I think we're gonna be a lot better. Are they gonna be a lot better? Are they gonna be just as good as they were?
That's a
Where
good question.
is Alabama gonna be a lot better than they were last year? We're gonna be a lot better. Is Mississippi State gonna be a lot better? I don't think so without that. You know, So we're going to see. But Auburn is going to be better.
Hey, we talked. Yeah, there's a lot of the guys that were on the team that was picked in the top 5 last year that are healthy, got another year of experience, but are getting no respect.
That's right. You know, they've gotten better. They ain't going backwards, and they providing great leadership. You know, you always got a few second guesses and clubhouse lawyers and drugstore cowboys
Mm-hmm.
that want to put you down. But I'm going to say they all going to have to eat the words.
I got to ask you one question that is probably it's the question every day that we get from a certain caller. Wants to know about way back when you go live with your quarterbacks a little more. Now it's just a thing where you don't. What are your thoughts on going live in the fall when you're trying to find your quarterback?
The best thing for Auburn is what Coach Malzahn does, because he's the head coach. And the best thing we did when I was coaching was what I wanted him to do. And so, you know, he's got evaluating, and I had mine. And then, listen, we went into Tennessee in '85 and played 3 quarterbacks, and which means we didn't have, you know, and I didn't sleep a wink from the time the game was over to Monday morning. And we played Pat Washington and Jeff Berger and Bobby Walden, and we came back in and got beat by 2 or 3 touchdowns. We came back in on Monday morning. I walked in there, and I told, I guess, Coach Jack Crow was the coach. I said, Pat Washington is our quarterback. We're gonna sink or swim with him. And he went on and had a decent season, but we were struggling, and Pat didn't start because he's had a hurt shoulder in the spring, and the other 2 kids look good. But it's hard sometimes to pick. And of course Jeff Berger ended up being a conference winner, and Bobby Walden ended up getting hurt, and we should have gone to the I formation with Pat his senior year, because he was not a natural wishbone quarterback. He ran it and was unselfish, but he would have been a great I formation play action pass.
You know,
quarterback.
I've mentioned this.
And we could have lined Bo Jackson up in the I formation.
Ooh, yeah.
And run it to him both ways.
Or downhill.
Yeah.
I just remember. I remember the end of that '85 Iron Bowl. Pat was so good in the fourth quarter on the 2 drives, and we went down. We just come down to the press box and we're seeing him when Tippen's foot hit the ball. Pat felt so bad that he felt like he lost the game when he'd done everything he could to win that game.
Let me tell you something. The problems we had on the team on defense, they won on offense.
Oh, absolutely.
So I got to get out of here. I'm going to watch practice.
What you up to?
Well, I work every day.
I
got a nursery, and I speak, and radio shows.
We listen to it all the time.
I write an article for the Inside Auburn Tigers every Monday, and then we're starting a radio show. Coach Stallings and myself.
Oh, that
we're
sounds
friends.
great.
Oh, yeah. We're friends.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not going to be on together. But we're going to be on stations all over the state.
You don't want to be like Sonny and Wimp?
No.